Alright, what's up YouTube? We're getting way too rad out there on the fixie. Flat tire, perfectly opportunity to show you guys tried and true bike shop method for fixing flats. Let's go through the numbers. I don't even know. 3 flats a day, say conservative on average. 8 years of the shop. 35 years of bike riding and fixing flats myself. Yeah, I got the process down. Let's get into it. 3-step process. Taking the tire off, figuring out what caused it, and then patching it, putting it back on. All right, so we got the wheel off the bike. Let's get any last remaining air out of here. We've got the Presta valve here. If you've got a regular valve, you might put a small Allen wrench in there, something similar. Presta valve, you can just push the valve. Let's get our last remaining air out of there. Push down. All right, first step is to push in on the tire and get the tire straight into the center of the channel of the rim. So we do that. All the way around. Okay, then what we're gonna wanna do is opposite the valve to have the best success for the easiest with the tire levers. What we're gonna do is opposite the valve. We're gonna pinch the tube, pinch the tire together here, and try to get it as far down into that channel of the bead as possible. And as we're doing that, we're kind of pushing down with our hands this way. So push the tire down. We're basically forcing the tire that direction as much as possible. That should give us the most room over here when we peel it back like that. All right, peel it back. Sometimes you can get away with one lever, just pulling it on and pulling. This one feels a little tight. So let's do the double levers. We're gonna put one here. Most of these spoke tools have the edge right there. Put it behind the spoke. Now to our second one. Pull it out if need be, if you can't pull, if it's still tight, and just gently right up next to it. Push straight down with the lever, in. This tire was pretty tough to do. Now we can pull like we would. All right, we got one side off. A lot of the times at this point, you can just go opposite the valve and just roll the tire off. Okay, here's the critical piece. If your last mechanic did it right, all this stuff's gonna be lined up. Your valve, tire, and the label on the tire. Take that off and set these up against the wall or something where everything's in line here. So we take this out. Sometimes the tube can be in there. All right, tube's out. Keep it all in the direction that it was. That's critical. Okay, so keep these lined up. That's one of the most important steps on the whole thing. Keep those lined up. Our tube goes this direction. Air up the tube. Air it up to way bigger than it needs to be. We hear air. All right, first, if you want to patch this tube, we do a little X on it right now. All right, and let's go back. Here's our hole, this hand, to our valve, down here, right here. All right then, attack. Okay, it could be a number of things. It could be a really small, if you've got a small leak, it could be something very tiny. You may just, best thing to do is, even though you found the hole, run your hands like this through the tire and look for any little brown spot that doesn't come off. Rub the tire. Use the needle nose pliers and pull out any thorns. See, make a pass. All right, we got the thorn, we're good. All right, we're back. In this instance, we patched our tube. You've either got your patch tube or your new tube. Find our label. Get our partially pumped up valve. That's an important step. Put a little bit of air, just enough to fill it. Put that at the valve. Okay, important step, get the direction right. These chevron treads, it's always going forward, ramping in like that. So make sure your direction's right with your quick release and all that. Make sure we got it going right. Put the valve through at the top. I usually get the back edge here. Get the back edge right down in there. Get it up into the lap, into your lap like this. And just kind of push the tire on. Push the one side of the bead on. All right, we kind of got the other side going too, but we push one side of the bead on and then make sure we're pushing down to make sure the tube goes down into the channel of the rim. We're pretty good there. Start, we got our valve right here. So start with the valve opposite the valve. Start here, push in. And this is where we're gonna finish the whole thing, right at the valve. So same as the principle with taking the wheel off. Take it opposite the valve and push it down. We want to get the tire to go that way. Get it as deep into the channel as possible. Work the tire this way. And it should make this last step right at the valve, because you're in the channel on the other side, no valve. We just can roll with our palm. Better to put it right in your palm and roll over. Pop it on. Everything was pretty easy on that. All right, tires are on there. Airing them up. Regular tube tire. Put about 10 PSI in there. Get our line right here. Every tire's got it. The little line that's about 1 millimeter above the end of the rim strip. That line needs to be seated correctly, and it's easiest to do at about 10 PSI on a regular tube. Spin the tire. Any jumps, use your hands, same as we were putting them on, roll it over. All right, we got 10 PSI in there. We seated the tire. Now we can get on here and go up to full pressure. I like to go 10 PSI less than the max. This instance, I get about 70. A little popping of the bead, some residual seating of the tire. Roll it right away, make sure everything's good. We're looking good. All right, let's check out one in real time here. Customer just brought this one in. It appears to be a rim strip problem, so that's most likely the culprit, but let's check it out. And here you go. All right, there you go. All day, every day, fixing flats here at the shop in Morro Bay. Like and subscribe. Peace out.